What's up, everybody? I'm here. I'm not alone. I have this Gentile man. What?
Excuse me.
What the hell were you doing?
I was just reading two books at once to save time.
Prove it. No, don't put it down. Prove it. They're all in the comments. I want to see it.
It's these two books that a fine gentleman, he wrote these and sent them to me. His name is D.B. McCree. I recommend them.
Okay, so show us how you read them both at the same time.
You wouldn't understand. It's very complicated.
We're willing to indulge.
So what I do is I use one eye for this book, and I use the other eye for this book.
So do you read them at the same time, or do you alternate sentences?
The same time.
Go ahead, show us.
I can't read it out loud. I can only do it in my head. Otherwise, I would totally show you. I would. So I apologize that I can't.
Oh man, this is my life on a daily basis. Welcome everybody. We usually have a couple thousand of you in here, so we are going to get to the big stuff, the good stuff, the juicy stuff. Oh, you know what I forgot? Mods, if you guys could, if someone could post Random Patriot's PayPal information in the chat so I could pin it, that would be fantastic. I knew I forgot something and I just realized now. So can someone
Thank you, Mods.
Maybe do that, and I'll keep an eye on the chat. We just came off a bowie big trip. What are your thoughts?
I had a blast, man. I've never been on a little road trip like that with you guys, so I didn't know what to expect, but I had a lot of fun. The hotel room was a little cramped, all three of us in one bed every night, but we made it work. I snuggled with John. Just kidding. We got our own rooms.
You weren't supposed to tell them about that.
Yeah. No, dude, it was a blast. I can't wait to do it again.
So we started in Arkansas, which was slower than we would have anticipated. And then once we started getting to these other states, that's when things started pumping up quite a bit. We're going to wait for people to get in here, and then we're going to talk about what's happened with this court case. So let's jump into a clip of mine, a clip of his video, and show you guys, if you haven't seen, exactly what you missed while we get people in here.
By the way, Josh, so speaking of, one of the first places we went in Arkansas was West Memphis. We did stop in West Memphis, right? I'm not freaking. I'm not tripping.
That was the probation and parole department.
That's right. Yes. So, breaking news: 2 or 3 officers from West Memphis were just fired for, I think 2 of them was sexual conduct. One of them was lying about it. There was 3 officers that were fired just this week. And I'm curious to go back and see if we ever ran across them. I don't recall their faces, though.
We didn't get any cops in West Memphis. We only got the parole people. But now the cops will be at the parole and probation department.
Right.
We can just meet them there.
Yeah, I remember in the place now. Yeah.
We can also see their faces on the police officers' wall. Hey, while I run this video, can you just text me your PayPal link so I can throw it in here?
I got you, man.
Oh, New England Truth. Thanks, bro. All right, let's run this. All right, so this is a big one, guys. Everyone's been watching Huntsville, Alabama. Myself, the Random Patriot, and Harvey Freebird went to Huntsville, Alabama to ask a lot of questions and to get some answers. Turned out they didn't want to talk about what was happening in their neck of the woods whatsoever.
City, county, state, or federal?
Huntsville police. I'm doing an investigation into the Huntsville Police Department, and, all the terrible things they're doing. I know they were just arrested. Now I believe the sheriff is kind of doing enforcement here now.
That would be something to speak with him about, okay?
Okay, and I see that there's still a Huntsville Police Department badge on the wall. Mm-hmm. Is that embarrassing for you guys? No. Did you hear what happened to the Huntsville Police Department?
I don't want to be on there.
Oh, we're in public. I'm just asking.
I'm doing a.
You can keep doing that. You don't have to talk to the.
A Homeland Security job. You have to not.
Sir, please. That's. I don't.
No.
You work for Homeland Security. The locksmith is privately contracted. Hey, you're in public, my friend.
It's a state mandated thing.
Oh, it is.
State license, yes.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I guess
You have to go on.
I'm not.
No. Sir, please go on.
What do you think about the police department being arrested and disbanded? What do you think about that? Like real bad guys. It's bad guys arresting bad guys. It's interesting though. Those cops had a lot of drug cases, so it was really drug dealers arresting other drug dealers so they could eliminate their competition. It was really a turf war. We're here doing an investigation. I don't know if you heard about what happened to the Hansville Police Department. Did you hear about that? I think everyone did. Was that shocking to you to hear that?
More than shocking. I've been living here for 50 years.
That's my next question. 50 years.
And
this is affecting you. This is obviously a lot to take in. You love your community. You grew up. You lived here. It's hard. It's hard.
so
It's hard.
we had a 100% failure in good order and discipline here. Every time you see a spokesperson on the news, they always come out with this arbitrary figure of the 1% makes the 99% look bad. I'm not a mass surgeon, but this is 100%.
Right.
The whole police department
The whole department
was
involved.
yes.
Good afternoon. Some of you already know who I am. My name is Brian Campbell. I've lived in Hansville 62 years, and I was a victim of this police department. Not one day, not 1 minute in my life have I ever been in any kind of trouble. I was caring for my wife with Alzheimer's and my disabled daughter. On that day, it happened at my residence. Hansville was dispatched. 2 officers approached my home, and I didn't know why they were there. I inquired why they were there, did not get a response, so I proceeded to close the door to my house. Upon doing so, one of the officers took his foot, jammed it in the door, and forced his way into my home. Asked me to step outside. The other one was the officer from hell. He's not currently on this force because during all this, I prevailed in a lawsuit that took over 1 year and $17,000 of my money to defend myself. That officer hit me from behind, of which I can't hardly still walk, with his knee, took me to the ground, and beat me mercifully. I hope this sinks in. Yes, I'm mad and angry and upset. Put yourself in my position. How would you feel?
Hansville, Alabama, founded in 1832, a picturesque and close-knit community in Cullman County, a small town you've never heard of, where everyone knows each other's name. Once known for hardworking Americans, small-town values, and wholesome living, is now marred by multiple controversies.
Good afternoon. I'm District Attorney Champ Crocker, joined here by Sheriff Matt Gentry. This is a sad day for law enforcement.
So this is the first one. This one was very interesting. So and I'll fast forward just so you can see the faces of the folks here. I'm just gonna let it play. I'll turn the sound off. So this was a big one. This dude OD'd on every drug in the book. Random Patriot did some digging. And he uppers, downers, in-betweeners.
Lefters, righters. Yeah, all of it.
Everything, all the way from computer tampering of physical evidence, use of official position for personal gain. These guys were bad guys. And They were drug dealers dressed as police officers. They were using their position to get other drug dealers off the street for two reasons. Number one, to corner the market, to get rid of the other dealers in their territory. And instead of stealing stuff from the evidence room, they can just rob other drug dealers off the street. We went there. It was interesting. I mean, we started asking them very simple questions like, what happened here? How does it make you feel? Every single city hall worker and most of the citizens wanted to forget that ever happened. What was your experience filming this?
Yeah, man. The first person we asked about it had one of the best speeches I've ever came across, and it made me actually want to go talk to more people. I guarantee you we could have found a dozen more people that day with a story to tell. And then after we get back, you found the same video that I did. I forget his name now, but that older man that was just speaking about his experience. He even had a lawsuit with them already. He had to spend $17,000 of his own money. This is probably one of the worst police forces I've ever come across, but it makes you wonder, is it just this police force, or is it they got caught because one of them OD'd? And something else that somebody brought up, and I haven't really dug into it enough to say one way or the other, but what if that was a lot of drugs that guy took? What if he didn't take those? What if he learned some stuff he wasn't supposed to learn, was going to say something, and then now he OD'd on like 8 different drugs? Because who takes, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's people out there, but he was taking everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that that's possible. Who'd expect hardworking, honest police officers who rob drug dealers and resell them on the streets to take out one of their own? That doesn't seem like dirty cops. But this was far from the only police department where we found some real crazy shit going on. In fact, this is one of the random Patriots videos. We'll roll this for a second. This one was a doozy too.
Yep. This one made me mad.
So I have a question real quick. Let's say I park at the end of someone's driveway and they have dogs on their private property in their yard, but they scare me. Can I shoot them?
Imagine the mailman or the cable guy shows up to your house. You open your front door and your little dog runs out into the yard. The mailman then gets out his gun and puts your dog to sleep right in front of you. What happens to that mailman? I literally could only find a few circumstances of this ever happening because mail carriers aren't cowards like a lot of these cops are. And the few circumstances I found, the mail carrier goes to jail. So why are cops allowed to come to your house on your property, and all they have to do is say they were scared, and now they get to put your Pomeranian down right in front of you? If a guy working Amazon came to your house with a package and a dog came out, and then he pulls out a gun right in front of you and puts your dog down, what happens to that Amazon driver? You think he gets in trouble by Amazon? You think he gets charges? He might not even make it home in some people's yards. So why are cops allowed to do this? Why are they above the law? They're supposed to be the brave ones, yet they are the ones that are the most scared of everything.
Home of a Judge Sotomayor family is much quieter tonight after the loss of 2 dogs, the family says, at the hands of a police officer.
Well, she says it started with her son taking the dogs out, and moments later, her son went back inside to let them know of a traffic stop at the end of their driveway. She says within seconds, gunshots that left her 2 pups dead.
This is where the blood starts.
Spots of blood stained the rocks on Delana Cross's driveway.
There's some more blood. I miss my dogs, but I'm so mad that he shot towards my home and towards my children.
She says the officer was conducting a traffic stop at the beginning of their driveway on Highway 367 North. Thunder and Lightning were outside to use the restroom and went to the scene. Croft said her son stepped out on the porch to call them home.
Thunder, lightning, thunder, and he got about 3 out before the cops started shooting.
She says Lightning was killed here.
Straight in the skull, didn't come out. There was no blood.
adding that Thunder was shot while running home. He made it inside, but bled out in front of her 5 children.
They are completely traumatized.
It's a tough watch, but she says there is more footage that needs to be released showing Officer Gossett shooting towards her house to kill her dog Thunder.
So I did not shoot towards that residence.
Officer Gossett says he shot 4 shots, and after shooting Lightning, you can see he put his gun back into his holster and walks back to the car. Afterwards, he starts walking into the direction of Cross's house. Cross says this is when he shot towards Thunder as he ran back home.
And nowhere in that video does it show the officer, extending up and shooting in any direction to anybody's home.
I saw it. My sister saw it. My husband saw it. My 2 boys saw it.
Judsonia PD says this was the only dash cam footage released because the other patrol unit did not have a camera. Chief Robert Parsons says the shooting was justified because Officer Gossett felt attacked by the dogs. Cross says she can't believe this because her dogs aren't vicious at all. Watch.
Now, I just want to break up that Random Patriot went in hard. Straight up asked this cop, you haven't shot any dogs, have you? The guy had nothing to say because obviously he'd shot a dog. And then I followed up and asked a question. I said, listen, you guys have police canines. If one of them was to attack me and I felt scared, I'm good to just shoot your fucking dog, right? And he's like, no, you better not do that. Well, why can't I shoot your dog? Like, if you're going to shoot my dog, I'm going to shoot your dog. So if I haven't done anything wrong, right, and you guys are wrong and you're sending your dog after me in self-preservation, I can shoot your dog. No problem. They didn't like that because even their dog has permeated the thin blue fucking circus. And Justin goes on to unravel these guys. Heads up, pinned to the top of the chat is Random Patriots PayPal and Venmo link. You're going to need that because we're going to be touching another update here in just a second after Justin kind of gives us his insight into this case, because this one was on his home turf. So we were driving in the car, had a lot of good passes. A chief of police literally came to meet us, was super excited that we were there. He wound up sending me an email afterwards saying that the reason he got into policing was because he watches these videos. And because of these videos, he was able to rise to the ranks of chief. We met a lot of good. We met a lot of bad. But this place was on your radar for some time.
Yeah, man. I did a video so this happened almost 2 years ago, actually. And right around the same time, there's another town not far away. That was Judsonia. This was, I'm always going to forget the name of it when I need to remember, but it's another town not far away. And another cop shoots this lady's Pomeranian. He tries to shoot her Pomeranian and he misses and he shoots the lady. And so I do a video about these 2 officers because they both shot little dogs for no reason. The shit pisses me off. Why are you shooting dogs? I went on a whole rant in the video, so I won't do it again. But cops are mailmen are more brave than cops when it comes to canines, or cable men are more brave. This cop didn't get in any trouble. Not only did he not get in any trouble, but the chief of police backed him up and said he didn't do any wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know. I could rant about it all day, but when you said, did you talk to the chief of this place after, Josh?
No. I never spoke to the chief of police.
This was the other place?
The one in Mississippi before we ended there.
Yeah.
But this, interestingly enough, we're starting to see a tone here. And it's not segregated to one state. We have seen personally in just one road trip that was super condensed, where we rarely didn't even have time to do anything except film, travel, edit, sleep, eat, and repeat. We went to Cave City, Arkansas, which is famous, I guess infamous is a better word, because they played a good old-fashioned game of fuck around and find out with the Random Patriot. They quickly realized that they were punching above their weight class. He'd been waiting to go back. I had been trolling the City Hall staff, as is my way, and I'm so surprised because Harvey Freebird, the Random Patriot, come out and they say, there's a dead cat behind the station. The cop tries to tell. Now, we've been around a lot. Justin has, Harvey, especially myself. I've been around hundreds of crime scenes. And he said, oh, the cat got ran over by a car. The cat was in rigor. So like everything's like super stiff on this cat. You'd see breaks in the rib, stuff like that. Everything is intact. The way that the police station is set, it's set way back from the road. There's no roads at least within a quarter-mile distance of this. If this cat got hit by a car, it wouldn't have made it that far. However, the cat had a bullet hole in its head. It's kind of like saying someone got shot to death by a drive-by, but it was ruled the Kung flu. It was, the pandemic cause of death. It was very interesting. And then we go around and we see the patrol vehicle, and one of the cops' patrol vehicles has animal lube. I'm not fucking with you guys. 100% serious. Animal lube in the front seat in the cup holder next to the guy's Yeti.
True story.
So,
I thought
this is some shit that you can't make up.
it was used as well. It wasn't like a brand new bottle that he was just taking somewhere. It was like very used. It had stuff all over the rim.
Listen, I'm a 2A guy all day, but I think it's interesting. I think that cop was the one that did it. He posted pictures on his Facebook, him taking his son out hunting, and they were using a fire truck to do it. These guys are absolute scum of the earth.
I think he did it too. By the way he reacted, and I saw a comment, and I was like, yeah, he did. He walks like right back to where the cat is, almost as if he knows where the cat is before we showed it to him.
And the camera was down, folks, right? That's what he says. The cat was dead right in front of the camera. Obviously point blank range, small caliber, something like a 22, something like a dad would teach his son to hunt with. Which is
you want to know what?
Go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
I'm sorry. So on that, dude, so while I was doing the video about the dog from Jitsonia, in the news clip, the lady, she's talking about her puppies that were shot in the head. And she says it's a bullet that went straight in his head. It did not come out. And there was just a little bit of blood around the one little hole in his head. And that was a pistol used by an officer. So we saw the same thing on this cat. It was just an entrance wound, but not an exit wound, with a little bit of blood around that one hole. So exactly what the lady described her puppy looked like after the cop shot him in the head is what this cat looked like.
Well, I mean,
and so I'm starting to think maybe it wasn't a 22. Maybe that's just how it is.
Maybe they're using their service weapons, but it's interesting when you look at the proud dad post that he did of him taking his son hunting. Son's holding a 22 caliber repeat rifle, basic hunting rifle. But I mean, who knows? It just so happened that the camera that was right in front of this doesn't work. Now, I went back through my video footage, and whenever I see computer screens behind a police desk, I always zoom in. And I could see retroactively coming soon to a theater near you folks. I've submitted a records request for footage of that camera, and they won't be able to deny it. At least if they do deny it, saying the camera is faulty or it doesn't work, that's bullshit, because I went through my footage and you can see Harvey and the Random Patriot walking on that specific camera while they're looking at the cat.
Bro, yes. Fuck yes, dude. That's awesome. I cannot wait.
The camera works. Let's see what they have to say.
So you got some kind of proof that they are at least broadcasting.
We know at least that on that day when we were there at that time, the camera worked.
Yeah.
That cat was in rigor. He must have been dead for 6 to 8 hours to be in that early of a stage. He must have been killed earlier that morning. So I requested camera footage from the previous day up until the time that we left for that camera and any other cameras that show the exterior of the building, because I didn't do a count on what was there. So the only real option they have, because they're not going to send us footage of them taking out a cat, they're going to say the cameras don't work. And at that point, we can go to the attorney general and argue, of course they work. Kick in the fucking video footage.
And you know what? I know a lot of people in that area. I wonder if it looked like a house cat. I wonder if we could find whose cat it was even. I wonder if we could do like a full-on murder mystery thing on this.
I think we could, and I don't know why they're killing their own because cops are pussies as it is. Let's take a look at one more video clip. This one features Harvey Freebird. Then we're going to get into everything that you guys have been waiting for. Hit it up,
Hey,
Justin.
real quick, I have to say this before we move on. So the whole reason I went to Cave City to begin with, like a whole year ago, was because there was an Army vet that was there, and he was arrested for trying to talk to the mayor. He was trying to file a complaint on an officer. That officer showed up to talk to him instead of the mayor. The officer he's trying to file the complaint on, he shows up and arrests him. So I go there, I make a whole video about it, right? I hold my sign that says "Fuck the Cave City Police." It's a whole thing. So after that, this vet, he likes to make a lot of signs himself. I was trying to find one, but he stands out on his property with "Fuck the chief" or "Fuck whoever," and they haven't messed with him yet, but you know they've been wanting to. Well, today they arrested him. Here he is. Oh, can you see that? This just happened a couple hours ago. He is out there. He has a sign that says "Fuck the chief" and another one that says "Fuck Officer Trent Milligan," I think, which is the officer that he doesn't like. And apparently somebody else stopped and started some shit with him on the side of the road about it. So the cops, all I know so far, I don't know if it's the state police or if it's the local police, but they show up and they arrest the two of them. And right now, he is in jail without bond. And I know this guy, he is not one to start anything with anyone. I mean, he is going to hold a sign that says "Fuck you," but he's not going to start a fight. He's not capable of that. He's not that type. So I think this was just finally their excuse to put him in jail. So I will find out what's going on with him.
Interesting enough, that happened after after we left town. He goes and does the same thing you do. And this is the problem, folks. Folks like Harvey, Random Patriot, myself, we have these real big social media followings. This guy on your screen right here, he doesn't. He's just a supporter of the United States Constitution. He's a supporter for freedom. He's a soft target. He did the exact same thing Random Patriot did. Identical situations. He held a sign with profane language. And when you go into City Hall, there's actually a poster that says "No profane language." So I use that sign as a suggestion that I should start swearing. But they weren't willing to do to Justin what they did to this guy. And now because he decided to use some words that the police didn't like that hurt their feelings, now he's being held without bond. They've weaponized free speech. And, you know, not for nothing, cops are taking out animals because they feel threatened. This guy is lucky to be alive. And you know what? I'm actually going to show an intro clip of this City Hall real quick.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I'll throw it up real quick. This is Cave City. This is the place that tried to arrest Justin and arrested this guy.
So there's no video in this office.
Not my fault you left the door open, lady. When you do the people's business, you use the people's car. When you're on your own personal time, you leave the people's home. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm gonna be here for a week, and if I see you, going down to the local house driving a police car, I'm gonna have a real problem with it. Do we understand each other? Are we clear, crystal?
Yeah.
All right, don't let it happen again. You're dismissed, man. Get in the car and get the out of my city now, okay? But
fucking legend, bro.
You're in finance. You didn't send me a paycheck, right? So it's not my job to help you do your job. If you have private information, warrants, I can't wait to arrest him.
No,
So I just didn't know if you knew who the cop was.
So I zoomed in so you couldn't see the cat for the sensitive viewers at home.
No, I sure didn't know anything about this. Looks fresh.
Now, I was asking some buddies of mine that are avid hunters. I thought it was nasty that this guy takes a dead cat and just grabs it, raw dogs it, no gloves on his hand, and just lifts the thing up. And, you know, hunters get intimate with things that they kill. I asked someone that hunts avidly, and I say, do you use gloves or anything when you handle these animals? He's like, no, it's one of the most primal things imaginable, at least for a hunter. When you take the life of an animal, you don't disrespect it, you embrace it. Show that to us again.
So that is one of the signs that he was arrested over. It's kind of backwards, I guess, but it says "fuck Officer Adam Fitzsimmons," which actually happens to be the officer that we just watched in Josh's video that raw dogged this cat.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. So this was today. This was Gene Short, the guy that I was just showing you that was arrested. This is one of the ones that he made.
And look how I spoke to, here's the thing that drives me nuts. Look at how oh, there he is.
Guess what he's about to do?
Burn that thing.
I don't think he is. He's going to step on it a lot, though. He's politely stepping on it.
You know
Look at his shirt, bro. I sent him that shirt, actually. I didn't write the bottom part, but I wrote the top part that says fuck. And then he wrote all police on the bottom.
You know what's interesting? The way
Gene Short's a fucking legend, bro.
The way that I just spoke to that cop in that video, I just I didn't just disrespect him. I dismantled his ego and I treated him like a child to the point where I was verbally abusing him so bad that he was saying, yes, sir, after every time I shook him up. He didn't have the same balls with us that he had with this other guy, because this other guy didn't have a social media channel. Let's take a look at what this cop had to say, what his detective skills said about this poor cat.
Got a hole in its head.
Well, it looks like it's been run over.
Bro, he is like petting this cat like it's alive almost. He is.
And the ribs aren't collapsed either. I understand that the cat's in rigor, but there's the ribs aren't crushed. The body seems pretty intact. There's no disfigurement in the legs.
That's a wound to his head. Yeah, and it's not.
He bled out from his head.
Yeah,
I don't know if he bled out. It was probably an instant death when the bullet hit his brain, but you can see.
Well, the blood became gelatinous.
Good thing is, look at this right here. So we can find out exactly who did it. So let's go make a full.
Let me ask you a question. Have you? And I'm just asking off cuff because I don't know you. I've never met.
Look at how nervous this piece of shit, Officer Fitzsimmons of the Cave City Police Department in Cave City, Arkansas. Look at how guilty he looks. And it's interesting. Cops love to advertise that they're cops. I found it interesting that he took off the police Velcro patch on his tack vest. He's got his badge mostly hidden. His belly is not hidden whatsoever. But this guy, this is like, if you've seen actual criminals get caught, this is the look. Watch one episode of 48 Hours. Once the detective hits the criminal with the "we gotcha" moment, this is the face that they make every fucking time.
Yeah, it is.
Every time. Wait, what happened here? I got black screen. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, folks. Bear with me for 1 second. There we go. Does that work? Is that on the screen? There we go. Now let me see if this works. All right, perfect. I'm going to show one more quick clip, and then we're going to get into the moment you've all been waiting for. What happened with Justin? What's going on in the future? And some other big announcements. But guys, just stand by. Get ready.
Oh, hey, how's it going, man? Oh, I'm not?
No, you're not.
I was,
what you're doing, but right now you're breaking the law.
How's that?
This is employees only.
I didn't know that. I was just taking a tour of the building.
Get out.
The door was open.
Out before you go to jail.
What's your name and badge number? What's your name? You don't have to be so rude, man.
Out.
I'm trying to be nice and just be cordial. Are you threatening me with arrest?
How did you get in here?
The door was open right over there.
Out.
You don't have to be rude.
Out now.
Did you give me your badge number?
I'm not
Your name?
giving you a badge number.
I'm not breaking the law.
I'm
If
the
you would be
chief of
nice,
police
if you would be
here.
nice, I'll walk
Chief
out.
Jerry Holmes.
Just be nice about it. You don't have to be a kid.
But for right now, as far as it goes, that door is not secured. It's not posted restricted access. It's not posted keep out. It's legal for him to go through that door and for me to leave here with you and go through that door right now until it's secured or there's proper signage on it per Alabama state statute.
Well, we'll make sure that that's properly marked.
I'm going to go through that door now.
No,
since
you're
it's not
going-
marked.
No, you're not going.
It's not marked, sir. All right, I guess you get to
Oh,
finish.
shit.
I'm just taking pictures and video of everybody, everything, people, documents, all that, and then I'm going to put it on the internet.
What are you doing that for?
I just like to take like pictures of everything, like people, like there's a document right there. Take pictures of that. Sorry?
Don't take any pictures of our documents.
No, it's part of my investigation.
What kind of investigation?
I'm not at this moment. I'm not at liberty to discuss it. What's going on, everybody? So today.
And that was our fantastic accommodations and hotel room. Oh, damn. So I have to leave the share screen up because whatever is going on is glitching here. So let's jump into Justin's case. If you're not familiar with it, welcome to Dover City, Arkansas. This stupid piece of shit cop is viral for all the wrong reasons. And I know his family is so proud. That's the reason that they made a threatening phone call to take Random Patriot's life. And then we'll give you the update. Here we go.
Let's meet Dover Marshal Captain Colin Lillard.
But you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me that. You didn't ask me that. Get out. I'm telling you, come back the off of you too. You're not gonna curse if I place you with a jail. 10 each. You're under arrest. Disorderly conduct. I'm saying freedom of speech. Yeah. All right. Yeah, tough on you. All right. Yeah, I said you guys get out.
Stop getting in my face.
Dude, I can get anywhere.
If you kiss me, I'll make out with you so much harder than you make out with me. I will give you so much tongue if you do. Come here, baby. Come here, handsome.
Touch me.
All right, what's your name?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for disorderly. You get what you wanted. How am I disorderly? How am I disorderly? How am I disorderly? Y'all get premium YouTube. How am I disorderly? Huh? Using foul language in public place. I'm allowed to, dude. Yeah, okay, well, I just talked to the prosecutor, and he feels different. Well, he doesn't know, and you're about to get yourself a lot of trouble, brother. Well, gladly. There you go. There you go.
The prosecutor will be in the same boat as you. Hey, I want to be a little more chill on
You're screwed.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not gonna do that. All right? You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You just shoved me in the doorway. You're gonna come up. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah. You're out. Dude, we're doing middle of arrest. You guys ain't getting up here in the middle while I'm trying to work. Get out the door now.
I ain't outside the door. I'm outside the door.
Now you guys get out.
I did speak to my attorney who's on retainer, and just so you guys know, to leave a either secured or unsecured prisoner out of your presence by walking away from them is actually cause for immediate dismissal. But let's see what Captain Colin Lillard's son had to say to the Random Patriot.
While protesting about another man who was arrested for free speech the week before. And by the same officer, mind you. Is Chief Titsworth available?
I don't know if he's in. Hold on a minute.
Oh, I don't know if this is the one with the. Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
Hang up on him.
Is that the cop?
No, I don't know who it is. Hold on.
Yellow.
I didn't mean to hang up on you.
No, it's fine. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I was just.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
If you actually want to talk to me, I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
If you're gonna call me up and act like you're somebody that you aren't, and then tell me you know where I live and that you're gonna come me in the, we're gonna have problems, bro. Because that's what you just fucking did.
No, that's not.
I would never do that to anybody. That is crazy shit that I would never do to somebody. And then you want to call me and you want to act like I'm a loser, dude. You just called me and said you're gonna me.
I know.
I'm not gonna be no.
Now, like father, like son. I don't know if you heard that, guys. I'm going to rewind it about 10 seconds. Listen very closely. First, he denies ever threatening him whatsoever. And then once he realizes the call's being recorded, he about faces and admits on recording in a one-party state that he did threaten to discharge a firearm in an act of violence at somebody. And how did he get his number? We can only assume it was from his dad's police report. But let's run that back for a quick second so you can hear the quick change in his tone once he realized that the random patriot just checked his nuts.
Yellow.
I didn't mean to hang up on you.
No, it's fine.
Here it comes. Listen,
I
now
don't
he's
know if you
going
heard
to
what I
deny.
was saying, but I was just.
Yep.
I'm just curious.
If you actually want to talk to me, I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
if you're gonna call me up and act like you're somebody that you aren't, and then tell me you know where I live and that you're gonna come me in the, we're gonna have problems, bro. Because that's what you just fucking did.
No, that's not.
I would never.
So he says, no, that's not true. Now he's going to change his story immediately because cops in their immediate family and anyone they've ever met lie.
Do that to anybody. That is crazy shit that I would never do to somebody. And then you want to call me and you want to act like I'm a loser, dude. You just called me and said you're gonna me.
I know.
I'm not gonna be. No, dude. I'm not gonna be able to let that go. That's crazy as fuck.
No, but man, you let your audience do that to these guys that you talk about.
I don't let anyone do anything to anyone. Everyone's a free man. I don't know any of my audience. I don't know. Just like I don't know who the fuck you are, dude.
All right, I understand.
So your number is going to be given to the police, and you're going to have to explain why you just tracked me down to tell me you're going to kill me.
Now, Justin was on point. His number was going to be given to the police, but it wouldn't be helpful because the police officer that he would give that number to is the father of the person that just made the threat. So the father and son, they each already have their phone number. And in that part of Arkansas, they might, scissor.
They're scissoring. Yeah.
So we're at where we're at. And you had been fighting this through the help of your tenacity and also the subscribers. They sent about $2,000 for a lawyer for you. They flew me out there to go see you. And folks, that's why I pointed out the pay information, the pay links at the top of this chat. If you'd like to make any donations to the Random Patriot, you can do that directly. So he goes to court, and I'll let you take it from there. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. We'll see if justice prevailed. Take us through as much as you can. Folks, he does have to be tight-lipped about a few things.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me set. The day was March 3rd. The time, 4 p.m. The place, the Dover Marshal's Office / City Hall / courthouse / everything else as well, the DMV and stuff. All right, I can't do that. But so I knew going in, I was warned by everybody, they're going to find me guilty. My charges were disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental operations. The obstructing they added later because they knew they didn't have shit with the disorderly. Because it was clearly over me saying swears in public. And even the municipal league made a video about how you can't arrest people for swearing in public. So they didn't have anything. So they added the obstruction, and we went into court knowing we weren't going to have any luck on our side. They literally got a judge out of retirement that is known for everyone's guilty. It doesn't matter what it is, you're guilty. You're guilty, you're guilty, and you're guilty. It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to listen. And they get him out of retirement. His name's Judge Paxton. He had his mind made up before he walked in there. He knew why he was brought there, and he was going to do his job. And honestly, I thought my attorney did awesome. He had stacks of case law. He went through it. And then the prosecuting attorney, their whole thing was, okay, they had two arguments. One argument was that I said I was going to kiss him harder, and that was a threat of violence. Even though, and
so
I even make him rewind.
Is your wife a victim of violence then?
Bro, he could barely say it with a straight face, and the whole courtroom is laughing every time he says it. Like, no one believed him, but that's all he had. And even like I get up on the stand at the end because we could tell the judge didn't give a shit anyway. So what's it going to hurt? and I just murder the prosecutor. Everything he asks me, I give him an answer he was not expecting consistently, to where everyone in the room knows I'm killing this guy. He is not good at his job. And I make him rewind the video because he's like, so we're talking about case law and like Cohen versus California. And he's like, so show me in Cohen versus California where Cohen tells the officers to kiss him harder. You know, I'm just like, bro, I'm like, if you want some case law on stuff like that, there is a bunch. There's like McDermott versus Royale, where it's a lady like waving her fist and calling him an asshole. There's all kinds of case law. But I was like, if you really want to talk about it, let's rewind the video. Let's watch Captain Lillard continuously get in my face over and over. I keep saying, get out of my face, to where he says, I'll get as close to your face as I want to. So now he does this to me. We are literally about to kiss. My response is, if you're gonna kiss me, I'm gonna kiss you way harder. And that's still an open challenge to anyone out there, by the way. But I'm clearly responding to him getting in my face, and it works, and he backs up. And so it is the dumbest argument, and it's all he has, and he brings it up over and over again. Even after I completely dismantle it, he still brings it up again, to where even the judge is like rolling his eyes. But the judge don't care because he already has his mind made up. And then the other thing that he was using was when we're outside by the car, when I am first recording the inside of his car, and he comes outside and he does that crazy like demon face where he turns around at me and comes and gets in my face. So they're trying to say that I was disorderly, even though when Lillard gets on the stand, he admits he was doing that in an attempt to scare me. He was trying to intimidate me and scare me and to get me to stop and leave him alone. So he admits to assaulting me, because we go through the statute that it fits the statute perfectly. That's what assault is. If I come at you like I'm about to fight you, I don't have to touch you. That's assault. I never did that to him. He does that to me consistently. Anytime I ever got mad or raised my voice was because he came to me and started that whole altercation. So anyways, I say all that to say he had two BS arguments that weren't going anywhere. There are, and I'm not going to be able to quote this the best, but there's like 5 elements that you have to meet to be considered obstructing governmental operations. You don't have to meet all 5 of the elements, but you do have to meet at least 3, right? Or like 2 super hard, but 3 or 4 at least. Well, I met one of those because I talked to one of the ladies inside for 45 seconds when she said she was trying to work. And I talked to her for, I think we counted like 35 or 40 seconds. And so they used that as one of the elements I met. So even the judge admitted I only met one of the 5 that you would need. And he still found me guilty of everything, just guilty of all of it. Guilty. There's some other stuff I want to talk about, but can't. And I do plan on actually possibly doing a live with my attorney. He's already agreed to it. I'm not sure when or where or how, but that way we can talk a little bit more about what was said in the courtroom, because there was some other stuff that I'd like to say, but I can't. But yeah, they found me guilty of all of it. So and they had nothing to stand on. It was complete bullshit. And the judge even agreed that it is violating somebody's rights to arrest them for swearing in public, that is violating people's rights. He tells that straight to Lillard. And another thing, Lillard on the stand, so he's on the stand, he's answering questions that weren't even asked. He openly admits, so he explains the circumstances of when I got choked in the back room. No one even asks him about this. It's actually the prosecuting attorney is questioning him very softly about all this. And Lillard volunteers a whole story of what went down in that back room. And he tells it pretty accurately, except he's like, I never touched his neck. I had his hand. He says that he had his hand right here, and then he held it right here, and then pushed me down in a chair and continued to hold it right here and squeezed me right here. the whole story is true, except it wasn't right here. It was, about 6 inches
What
up.
an idiot, right? Like
Dude.
the best thing for him to have done in a room with no cameras is to be like, oh, everything's caught on camera, just not that, never happened. He's admitting that the instance is true. He's just negating one small fact, right?
Right. So he's admitting to the whole thing. So I didn't make it up, obviously, I had marks on my neck, dude. So now that you've admitted to the story.
If he admits that everything happened except that he never touched his neck, there's only one of two explanations. He's lying, or another officer came in and put his hands around his neck, because you can clearly see up until the time he's taken to the back room, he doesn't have any ligature marks on his neck whatsoever. So at that point, why is he either leaving the person he has in custody alone, unattended for the second time, or why is he not intervening while another police officer is choking him out? So there are no good explanations. But this cop is so stupid. He's just thinking, he's like, oh, the one thing that really pisses me off is this guy saying that I choked him out. I'm going to have my 5 minutes of fame, and I'm going to address this. And he did what all cops do when they speak without, and they're not told what they can say. When they have to think for themselves, they look like fucking idiots, because for the most part, they are fucking idiots.
Everybody in that courtroom told me that he looked like an idiot. Everyone told me that I owned that prosecutor, and that their whole side, like everyone was extremely surprised that I was found guilty. I would have been surprised too if I wasn't already warned that's probably what was going to happen in this little kangaroo court. I was already kind of warned we're going to have to appeal this. I was hoping not, but that's what we're going to do. I was found guilty of both. I was given 90 days of suspended sentence. I think it's going to go away with the appeal. The judge did offer for those charges to go away after 90 days, like completely just erase. But anyways, yeah, it all doesn't matter if I'm going to appeal it.
I want you to listen to what's happening right now. For all intents and purposes, the random Patriot is kind of given a get out of jail free card. He has a suspended sentence, which means his sentence is 90 days in prison, and they're suspending the sentence for that period of time. As long as he doesn't get into any trouble, he doesn't get arrested. Not only does he not have to go to jail, it completely disappears from his record. So it's not there anymore. He can go forth and prosper. He decided not to take a freebie for the sake of what's right and for the sake of principle. Because if he did nothing wrong and they locked him up and he takes the deal, not only is it going to embolden other cops to do the same thing to other activists and to just any citizen, period, carte blanche, it would not set right within his soul. So look at the pay links that are pinned to the top of the chat. You guys are going to see a Venmo link and a PayPal link. He's now appealing this, which is going to cost several thousand. Appeals usually cost anywhere from between $2,500 to $5,500. You have to appeal the case to see if the new court will even hear it. If they hear it, then you have to start your trial all over again. And now we're talking about in a much higher bar. It's like doing amateur fighting and then getting your first shot in pro boxing, right? You're going to a much heavier weight class. You're going to much heavier hitters, and you're fighting a much more tenured and experienced prosecution. He could have walked away with it, sat low for 90 days, only audited in places that he knew he wouldn't get in trouble. And at the end of that time, he would have just been free with a clean record, and there was nothing to hold him up. Now he's risking not taking the deal, going to a higher court, maybe getting found guilty again, having to go to prison, having to take time away from his wife. He's willing to do all that for the sake of the cause. If you guys can help, I think you should help. And this is a perfect segue for me to make another announcement. There was a patriot, a person, a subscriber, an activist, someone who is just as upset with these circumstances as we all are here now. They reached out to me and they said, enough is enough, and we need to touch base with our civil rights. That being said, he has made it so I can return. He has made sure to purchase a plane ticket so I can return to first go to an unnamed location to do some video work with the Random Patriot, and then so I can finally return to the great state of Arkansas, the home of Billy Clinton and the stained dress, greatest collection of dry cleaners in Arkansas, to go back there and ask some questions.
We got work to do as soon as you get back here. Yeah. Speaking of Bill Clinton, I'm not going to get into it except for that. Just know me and Josh got some Bill Clinton stuff up our sleeves. And it's not what you think.
It's usually not up the sleeve. It's normally on the dress, but
right.
I did not have relations with that woman. So it's going to be fun. That to be named at a later date. You guys know how it goes. You're not going to know where I'm going, where I'm at, or when I'm going, or when I get there until I'm there and I'm with these guys. So we're going to hit it hard again because I can't just post a video. Like, there needs to be follow through, and the whole point of this was so they knew if they messed with one, they messed with all. And there's a lot of you out there that are going to say to yourself, well, are we making a difference? This trip specifically, I was able to see that the Random Patriot made a difference. They convened a conference, and they took 1 to 2 people from every municipality in the state of Arkansas because of the Dover video. And they taught their people, here's what you do. Don't violate people's rights. It was a real big fucking deal. Well, I was going to hold this off to later. You'll see a black screen for a second. Oh, you didn't see a black screen. No shit. So I am in the West Memphis City Hall, and I am talking to a clerk there. Very, very nice. And you wouldn't imagine what came up in conversation. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah.
Resting face.
Okay, I got
Kind of
you.
like
I know what
that.
you're saying.
That Karen face that people have sometimes.
I mean,
It's just-
but he has this rough exterior, but he's really a teddy bear.
I couldn't see because same as you. I came up to you very nice. I smiled. I said hello, and I did the same thing to him. And you started telling me I can't film him and being super rude. I know you know it's not true,
Well,
and I
yeah,
know it's not. But
and that's what I was saying. Kirsten is my newest hire. I have 2 new girls.
Hello.
And I was telling
How are
her, I said,
you?
let me go ahead and educate you because we're the clerk's office. So we're the
Yes, ma'am.
historian for the city. I said, and just came back from a clerks association, and that was one of the trainings. You're in a public place, there's public access. I said, there are places that are off limit where records and stuff is redacted.
I stored, right.
But you cannot tell somebody not to film you. This is the people's place.
And do you know why that meeting took place?
Actually, let's make sure it is that meeting.
I think it
Were
is.
you at a legislative meeting?
Yes.
Was John Wilkerson a
Yes.
speaker?
John Wilkerson and Mark.
Do you recognize this ugly face?
It happened because of him.
He's the guy I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm the guy he's talking about that whole video.
Okay, but it was informative.
It was.
A lot of times people believe that, and it's really weird.
So let's just put that in perspective for everybody. Before this lady, we had a retired cop of 40 years. He had been a police officer telling us we couldn't film, giving us all sorts of shit. This city clerk shuts it down immediately and starts going into this like tirade, not a tirade, but starts expressing, oh no, you guys can film, he can film, leave them alone. We learned all about the fact that they're allowed to film because we went to this huge convention with 1 to 2 employees from every city, town, municipality in the state of Arkansas. And we learned all about it because one guy was abused. And that one guy happened to be him. Let's ask Google, how many cities or towns are in the state of Arkansas? There are 600 cities, municipalities divided into 75 counties. So if you take 600 times 2, that's 1,200 employees that were forced to go to training because of what happened to him. And you guys saw that training work in real time. And I get aggravated when people say like, are we making a difference? And I say, expecting a difference is like pissing in a monsoon and expect to get anything less than, soaking wet and drenched. And he proved it wrong. In real time, that shit happened. She stopped someone from violating us because of a training video that was only because of him. And I've seen police officers recognize him and form bonds with him and explain how their policies and protocols within their departments have changed because of the work that he's been doing. And he's still doing it, and he's refusing to take a free win and walk away. He's insisting that he drag himself through court all the way, all over again, costing him thousands and thousands of dollars, past the thousands and thousands of dollars he's already in, because he believes in it. You don't get much more organic than the Random Patriot. I've spent a lot of time with him on camera, more time off camera, and I can tell you folks at home that it's like me. It's what you see is what you get. We had a lot of great discussions. I had some of the best travel time of my life. I was able to form a new friendship, and I was able to do something I haven't been able to do in a long time. I've been going out and doing this for almost 8 years now. And, you know, I've seen everything. I've learned everything. And as so I'm used to having to kind of carry the day, as it were. Like, I'm used to kind of having to step up and do all the work. And there are a couple times I even interrupted. I'm not even thinking about it subconsciously, because I'm just used to getting that moment and getting through. And I realized that this kid's the real deal. And on top of that, he knows what he's talking about. And I was able to learn quite a bit from him. And that is something I can't say that I've been able to do. I'm never surprised. I see cops do terrible shit all the time. But when you can do something like this for near a decade and meet someone who's only been doing it for a year and a half and not talk because you're watching and learning, that was one of the most pleasant surprises from this trip. So,
well, thank you, Josh. Man, I learned a lot from you too. That was one of the things I was most excited about, was just getting to go hang out with some real vets in this and just learn your ways. You know, all I know is what I see on YouTube. So it was just nice I think I appreciate you saying that. And I think we learned a lot from each other, if anything, and I'm excited to do it again. Very excited.
What I've learned is there's real power. Thank you, Ragnar. I will read all of them at the end. I won't forget this time. I think that what we all learned is the same thing that the cops learned. We are intelligent, we are educated, we are articulate, and we are organized. We have the ability, as Random Patriot has saw, you know, when we're not on screen. So it's not like for a bragging thing. It's just people I'm in contact with on a daily basis. You know, my phone is a Rolodex for everyone in activism, outside activism. I mean, I'm talking to Freeman, Warren Sapp. Like, we are all super organized to the point where we connect with each other because we understand a blow to me is a blow to all of us. A blow to Justin is a blow to all of us. So the clear message that was sent on this trip is that you fucked with one, you fucked with all. Police will do that to an extent. They'll protect the blue line, but there's a reason it's not called a fat blue line. It's called a thin blue line, right? Because they will protect themselves up and until the point of self-preservation. Once it's about self-preservation, the only person they care about is themselves. And the Random Patriot is living proof in real time, in living color right now, that there is no self-preservation. It is only community preservation. It is only civil preservation. It is the preservation to maintain civil disobedience as a part of our heritage, a heritage that should be, you know, perpetuated through the course of all time as long as this great country stands, right? It shouldn't just be a thought in the past. The spirit of resistance is exactly that. It's a spirit that one nation can form to back each other up. I really am hoping that the people in this chat are backing him up. 1,000 people, 1,200 people in here. This is a smaller live stream, more intimate. If everyone could send $1 to him right now, he's taken a big chunk out of what he's got to do. And I don't know, a lot of you guys think that, you know, we make the big bucks on YouTube. You know, car rentals, hotels, like meals, all that work's being put in. And he is certainly not making anywhere near what he's putting out of pocket. And that includes the donations that he's been getting.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd like to say thank you thank you first. Thank you, Josh, for taking my back on all this. you know, it was your live that actually got a lot of these people aware and to help towards my lawyer fees for the first run. And you guys actually donated like 100 or two more than I needed. So that's obviously going to go towards my appeal and all that. I'm going to use that. But thank you so much to everybody that donated, because otherwise I would just be out of pocket for this entire thing. Right now, I'm actually $200. I won't say $200 ahead, but I have $200 to go towards my appeal and the next trial and all that crap. And that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for each and every one of you, if it wasn't for Josh for helping me with all this, for inviting me on his live. He's got a really awesome following. You guys are awesome. And he shared me with you and shared you with me. And so I really appreciate that. And then Josh and Harvey Freebird, they both travel across the country to come help me and support me. And we go around together. I learned so much from the two of them. I cannot express how much I appreciated that opportunity. And then now we're back. I have two new awesome friends, and I'm back on your live again, and you're helping me again for my next round. And I can already see people donating to my PayPal. I can't read who or what yet. But man, like, so much thank you. And you made a good point too. So whenever I got that kind of get out of jail free card, and I think it was because the judge already had his mind set up. He knew what he was there for, and that's find me guilty. But I felt like he knew I was being screwed, and so that's kind of why he gave me, I think it was actually 60 days of suspended. It was talked about 90 at first, and then it just goes away. And my first instinct was just to take that, you know, like, yeah. Self-preservation, you know, he gave me a chance to just not have this on my record like it never happened. But that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to hopefully not get in trouble. I'm doing this to help the community and help the people. You guys didn't send me all that money for an attorney for me just to take my first easy exit either. So I don't care if it takes 75. I don't care how much money it takes. This is the road I'm on, and I'm gonna cruise this road until the end. So it wasn't an easy decision. I guess it was, but it's almost against your instinct. You know, your instinct is fight or flight, I guess, and I chose to fight. So, but it was easier to choose to fight because of all of you. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
You know what's interesting, folks? Like, I look at everything outside the box looking in, and the random Patriot is thanking all of us for everything that we've done for him. You know, thank you for sending us money, sending money for the lawyers, and, you know, for going on this road trip and linking up with me. And like, all he's doing is thanking us. And I've learned in this movement, if anything else is concrete, it is this. It is normally the people that are thanking us, where we are rightfully the ones who should be thanking them. It's really not thank us because we got your donations for a lawyer, or thank us for coming down there to help you. It's we need to thank him because he is the one who knew he was going to get arrested. One guy just got arrested for doing the same thing he was planning to do that day. He still went there and he did it, and he paid it in sweat and literally blood. It is him that took it all the way to court. It is him that refused to take a deal. Let me explain how this works. 60 days suspended sentence. His probation time would be the length of his sentence. So for 60 days, he just doesn't have to get arrested. He can come hang out at my house and party for 60 days, and it's done. He can go back out and do whatever.
I didn't know that was an option, dude. You know,
well, we spent whole trip, three of us in one bed. So, but like that's the thing, guys. When people thank you, look at the situation and break it down. Is it that person that should be thanking us, or is it we that should be thanking them? And it'll always come down to a very easy decision once you look at it. It should be we that are thanking them. It should be we that are appreciative of their sacrifices. It is we, the people. The most powerful word to the preamble to the United States Constitution is we. Very, very simple. And it was written that way for a very specific purpose. The founding fathers wanted to kick off this revolutionary freedom that we got and that we fought for by reminding us that the word is we. We win together, we fail together, we ride out together. We are ready to go right here, right now. Whatever happens, we're going down together. So we, the people, thank you for making sure that we, the people, are one step closer to securing our freedoms, our life, our liberty, our pursuit of happiness. And so that liberty, life, pursuit of happiness is not interrupted by overzealous thugs that get kicked out of 4 different departments that just want to go around and arrest people for saying the word fuck. So, if you guys in the chat want to join me, since it is illegal to say fuck to public officials in Dover, Arkansas, I would like to say fuck Dover, Arkansas. I'd like to say fuck Colin Lillard. I'd like to say fuck Colin Lillard's whole family for calling and making threats against him. Fuck the county who is so zealous to get him linked up and to get him hooked up and found guilty that they wouldn't even put him in front of a judge that was already there because they knew that judge would find him innocent. So they had to go shop for a judge that had been retired so that way they could have him deliver the bad news. Fuck their cowardice and fuck anyone, to be perfectly frank, that would stand against the progress of we the people. We.
All right. Exactly. Like, who the fuck is out there fighting against free speech? Like,
Listen,
good Lord.
You can't swear, though. The show's monetized.
All right. Right. He did.
Fuck.
Fuck.
A lot of people in the chat saying that they sent you stuff, and people, seriously, it means a lot to me.
Thank you.
It's shock and awe. When I first started in this movement, there weren't many people doing what we do. I was one of the first out there. And this is how the community reacted when one of us would get tangled up. One of us got hemmed up, the whole community showed up. And over the years, things have got watered down. People aren't as involved. They want to just see us yelling at cops, and that's really the extent of the involvement. But I've known for a long time that I have the best subscriber base, the best audience, and the best activists in all of not just YouTube, but activism in total, because I was expecting maybe we get him a couple $100. You guys raised over $2,000. You literally provided his defense. A part of the preamble says to promote the general welfare and to provide for the common defense. You people promoted the general welfare, you provided for the common defense, and you secured the blessings for his liberty and his posterity. And I'm asking you one more time to do it again, because we're not letting this man go to jail for making sure that he is one of the tips of the spear defending our constitutional rights. Anything else you'd like to say before I start reading off super chats? I get the hell out of here.
Nope. I think I said my thank yous. So I think that's it for me. I'll say one more time, freaking thank you. No, fucking thank you. With a hard F. Thank you guys. Thank everyone. And thank you, Josh. I even named my stuffed animal after you.
I can see the striking familial resemblance.
The smile.
And just so you folks, you might have seen it in a few videos, and it's something that he did consistently to me. And I'm not going to let him do it at the end of this broadcast. So before he has a chance to utter it out of his mouth, I'm going to say, and
that's the reason I stopped you today. That's the reason I stopped you today. No. Here we go. And that's the reason I stopped you today.
My fucking tagline. I'm going to read some super chats before we get out of here. That's the reason I stopped you today. New England Truth, $9.99. Dream Team Auditing, thank you so much. Banana Rana, become a member today, a member for 44 months. As if it's your business. Howdy, folks, member for 36 months. 44 months, a long time. That's a prison bid that some of these cops are doing. Firm audits, like, share, subscribe, and sub to the Random Patriot, no doubt. Paul Wright, member for 22 months. We appreciate you, Paul. Awesome streams. That's awesome because folks here like you are watching. Ty Murdoch became a member today. We thank you. And Ragnar for $10 says, judges are corrupt and malicious. Bradley v. Fisher, 1871. We need to try to get someone on the Jimmy Dore show.
The Jimmy Dore show.
He's going old school.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everyone here. As usual, I'll give you guys updates. It's not going to be like every second a donation comes in. Oh, thanks, guys. But I will start giving updates for how much you guys are putting towards it. And this is the only stream I'm doing with any updates regarding his court cases. So if you're not subscribed to the Random Patriot, make sure you are. Also, Harvey Freebird was on the trip too. Make sure you subscribe to him, but subscribe to the Random Patriot because he's going to be giving you the updates. He's going to have his lawyer when it comes time where he's going to be talking about his appeal. He gets back into court. And I'm not going to mention when and where I'm going to be going on this next trip that's already booked. We're going to let Random Patriot do that too. So make sure you subscribe, set the notification bell to always. Love every single one of you.
I will be doing an update video, so stay tuned. Maybe I'll say a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'll say at least a couple things more. I got to talk to my lawyer first. So I will be doing an update video. I want to say shout out to Harvey Freebird. Shout out to Accountability for All. And that's the reason I stopped you today.
I stopped you today. You asshole. And